Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Goodness. In today's video, I'll be showing us how to make a bodycon dress with a stretchy fabric. If this is something you're interested in learning, then stick with me to the end of the video. I have a video up on my channel where I explain how to make this detachable peplum, which helps to elevate a plain outfit. If you're interested in this, I'll link it in the description box. Alright then, let's get into the video for today. So I'll be using 3 yards of this striped velvet for this dress. If you're bigger, you need more. If you're smaller, you need less. So the first thing you want to do is to determine how much your fabric stretches. So for a better bodycon dress, you need a fabric that stretches 100%, like full stretch. So I folded my fabric in two, placed my tape at the start of it where I folded, and then pulled to see how much it will stretch to. So what I determined was it will stretch to an additional 4 inches. So that's 4 inches subtracted from 1/2 of my biggest circumference. So my biggest circumference is 40 divided by 2, that is 20, minus 4 inches is 16. Plus 1 inch sewing allowance on both sides, that'll be 2 inches. So 16 plus 2, that's 18 inches for one layer. So one layer is for the front and the other is for the back. I'll still fold this once again because I'll be cutting with quarter of the measurement, not half the measurement. So I just want to know how much fabric I would need to cut out. That will be enough to take the measurement. Now you also be dependent on how much your fabric stretches. Please don't measure the stretch of the fabric by just pulling one layer of the fabric, because it's going to stretch a lot more and that won't give you the true stretch limit. So after stretching and I'm sure how much will take my measurement, I'll cut out the fabric. So currently this is 2 layers, one for the front and one for the back. So I'll still fold it once more so that I'm having quarter the measurement instead of half the measurement. This means that I'll be cutting the front and the back at the same time. So next I'll measure how much I need for the length of the dress from the shoulder to my ankle, and then I'll cut off the excess. So this is what I have for the front and the back. So I'll fold it again to get quarter of the measurement of my body. So I folded it once, that was 2 layers, and then I folded it again, that's 4 layers. Now I'm ready to start applying my measurement. So even though we're subtracting from our circumferences to get a fitted look, for the shoulder measurement, you're going to use the exact shoulder measurement. So my round shoulder measurement is 14, divided by 2 is 7, plus half an inch is 7.5. So I would measure that. And then from the top, I will drop down by 1 inch and then mark it. So that 1 inch will connect to the shoulder point. So from that point, I would measure my chest line. Chest line is round bust measurement divided by 6 plus 1.5. That will get your chest line, which is also the armhole length. So for my measurement, mine is 7 3/4. So I'll just mark that. And then I'll draw my armhole curve. I'm using my free hand to draw this. If you can use your pattern master or a curved ruler to connect from the 1 inch drop at the shoulder to the armhole length. So just a curve, just as you see me do. Next, I would apply all my lengths. So the bust length, I'll be starting from the top of the shoulder, not that 1 inch drop. So I would measure the bust length, which is 10 inches, the waist length, which is 16 inches, and the hip length, which is 25 inches. So I'll just mark those points and then come back and apply my measurements on those lines. I'll be subtracting 2 from quarter of my circumferences. The round hip is 40, divided by 4 is 10, minus 2 is 8. So I would mark 8 and then the 1 inch is for allowance. I'll do that for the waist and for the bust. Next, I'll connect the points together. So the bust to the waist to the hip, and then I'll cut it out. So for the bottom part of the dress, I didn't bother tapering it or reducing the measurement because it's already small, like smaller than my measurement. So I just left whatever measurement I had at the hip at the bottom. So it's the same measurement I have at the hip that I have at the bottom of the dress. Now for the neckline, make it wide enough so that your head can pass easily. For mine, the width is 3.5. The length of the back is 1 inch and the length of the front is 7 inches. So I'll mark those measurements on this. Don't forget the back and the front are placed together. So I'll just draw my front neckline and back neckline on this one layer first. And then I'll cut the back measurement on both the fabrics, like both the front and the back. Then I'll go in and push the one inside out, like the neckline out, so that I can cut the front layer. So if you see that split on my fabric, I made a mistake when I was cutting, just disregard that. So I'll just place it and then cut out the neckline for the front. So make sure when you're cutting yours, if you're using this method, don't mistakenly cut the back and the front neckline the same measurements, unless if that's what you're going for. And that's it for the body. So I'll just put this aside and start working on the sleeves. Now for the sleeves, I don't want it as fitted as the body is, so I'll be using my exact measurement for the sleeves. So what I've folded here is the bicep measurement divided by 2. So my bicep is 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. So that's what I folded here, and I folded it in 2 layers so that I'm cutting my 2 sleeves at the same time. So first I'll mark the height, the cap height. So the cap height would range from 5 to 7 inches. And then I'll also mark the length of the sleeve, which is 23 inches. And then from the center, I would mark 4 inches and mark it. And then I would measure half of the cap height and then mark it. Next, I'll take my pattern master and draw my curve. From the top to the first half, I'm going to draw my curve. And then from that first half to the other side, I'm going to turn the pattern master the other way and then draw the curve. So that is my armhole curve. Now you can do this with your free hand, but if you don't know how to do it with your free hand, then you can use your pattern master to draw it. Next, I would apply my bicep measurement divided by 2 plus half an inch allowance and mark it. And then I would measure at the wrist. My wrist measurement is 4 inches plus half an inch is 4.5. So I'll connect those points together. Now your bicep is the biggest measurement on your arm, just in case you weren't sure. So I'll just cut it out. So the excess I'm cutting there is the allowance for the folding of the sleeve. So instead of 23 inches, I have 24 inches. So I'll cut out my measurement now. So I'm done cutting what I need to make the dress. Now to sewing. So I've gone ahead and cut out this bias strips I'll be using to turn the neckline. So I'm using this cotton fabric to turn my neckline. You're best using a stretchy fabric as well, so maybe the same fabric to turn the neckline. But I didn't have any fabric left to cut out a bias cut, that's why I'm using this cotton. So I'll just go and sew it on the neckline from the outside, and then I'll notch around the curve so that by the time I turn it, it's going to balance properly. Next, I'll take it back to the sewing machine and sew it down, and I'll do this for both the front and the back neckline. Next, I'll join them together by the shoulder. So another method you can use to join this is first join them before you turn it with the bias. Next, I'll take the sleeve to the sewing machine and go and hem the bottom. I have pressed the shoulders, pressed the neckline. The next thing I'm going to do is to attach the sleeve to the shoulder. So I notch the midpoint of the sleeve and then start sewing from the middle all the way to the other side, and then when I get to the end, I'll come back and start sewing again from the middle to the other side. After joining the sleeve to the body of the dress, the next thing I'm going to do is to join the sides using the allowance I left from the sleeve to the full body of the dress. I'm sorry guys, at this point I lost some clips. I just hope that you understand what I'm explaining. And then after I've done that, I will hem the bottom. So that's it for this dress. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post a new video. Alright guys, thank you all for watching and I hope to see you in my next one. Goodbye.